'Tis the season, guys. 'Tis the season where everywhere is playing music that makes me simultaneously want to vomit and punch somebody in the face. Thank you. 'Tis the season where I'm constantly reminded of how poor I am and how I have absolutely no useful skills that would allow me to do things like make nice holiday presents for people. I like this one laugh at a time. By the end of my set, we'll get the whole room. 'Tis the season where everyone's participating in Secret Santas, which I think are pretty stupid, but I'm doing one anyway. So naturally, I now have to give a gift to somebody I completely despise. Like, he is a fundamentally horrible human being. So I am Googling mean-spirited Christmas gifts. Any ideas? Any thoughts? No, you're all good people? It's Boner-thon. I really don't know what that is, but I like it. For the rest of you good folks out there, this is going to be a long set. I'm not going home for Christmas. Thanksgiving is my holiday. I just traveled back to the great place of Philadelphia for that holiday. Saw my little sister, I love her to death, but there are some key differences between she and I. For example, she believes that it is fundamentally wrong to have sex with married men. I think it is fundamentally wrong to say no to sex. I dress like a rock star, she dresses like a hipster, which I still maintain is simply the act of spending way too much money to make your wardrobe look like you stole it off a dead hobo. She plays ultimate frisbee, I hit people with swords. We're different, but we still get along. So it's great. You know what? Maybe the reason Christmas is not my holiday is because I'm a Jew? Could be the reason. Yeah, that's my really well-kept secret. I know I don't really look the part, but I am in fact a Jewish person, which means that other Jews who look Jewy don't necessarily like me, and it's not what I thought, right? It's not because I have a small nose and no fro, it's because they know that if we were both alive in Nazi Germany, I would have survived. In other news, I've recently discovered that pretty much nothing I do actually requires me to be literate. So thank you, $250,000 college education. Big help. More things about me. I live on Moorpark Street. For those who haven't realized yet, Moorpark spelled backwards is crap room. It's a thing that's true. Likes facts, that one. So yeah. I'm also, speaking of useless things, I am a national fencing referee. Yay, which means that I get flown around the country and put up in fancy hotels and paid very little money to stand on my feet for up to 12 hours a day and get screamed at by people with swords and their crazy Russian coaches. It's awesome. I was at a knack, which, right, you guys don't know what that means, with the exception of those two people. This is the problem, right? This is the problem with fencing humor. I am the only comedian who gets to do fencing jokes, but I'm usually the only person in the room who understands them. So, for example, right, there's this guy, Sergei Gitsayev, which you don't know. So this dead-on impression, wasted on you. On guard. Ready? Fence. That's perfect. You'll never know. So I was at this knack. Right, still haven't told you what that is. That's an NAC. That stands for North American Cup, because we in fencing really like our acronyms. We got lots of them, like FIE and FOC and other ones. My favorite, though, was the acronym for my very first fencing club, which was the Fencing Academy of Philadelphia. That's FAP. I had a sweatshirt that said FAP FAP on the back. Why it said it twice, I have no idea, but it made me very popular in high school. So anyway, guys, I was at this knack, and I got badger milled. Explain what that means later. She already knows. That's why it's funny. And I like to describe this environment as the Mos Eisley Spaceport. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Come on, guys, get your Star Wars. It's coming. Star Wars is happening. Brush up your nerd skills. Let's go. Anyway, back to the point. For example, I have recently forgiven a known pederast his sins. Because let's face it, of my choices for friends at these events, he's one of the better ones. He's honest. And I'm too old for him anyway, so it's great. Yeah, no, seriously, I'm faced with a group of people who understand that marriage is a contract, and the thing about contracts is that if the other party doesn't know you've breached the contract, nothing bad will happen. Oh, I also, at this event, got accused of being unprofessional. They threatened to dock my pay and send me home. For what heinous crime, you asked? Well, in a fit of exhaustion and delirium, I thought it would be funny to throw some water on a fellow referee. It was funny. He got like unreasonably pissed off about it. I mean, it was a little bit of water, and he's not the fucking Wicked Witch of the West. So, but that kind of went way out of proportion. I'm like, really, guys? Really? That's what you're gonna get me on? That's what you're gonna go for? Right? Not the time that I yelled the F word in front of a bunch of 10-year-olds? Not the time I ran away from the youth event repeatedly to go puke my guts out in a trash can because I was that hungover? No, this one. And while we're at it, let's talk about that other referee who refuses to call me anything other than boobs. Unprofessional? Yeah, everyone can see that my ass is the better feature. And aside from all this refereeing bullshit, right? I'm in a giant convention center with like 1,000 people, like actually 1,000 people, and I have to yell the last names of fencers over this crowd to try to get them to hear and go where I want them to go so I can do my goddamn job. Which is great when one of your fencers' last names is NG. How do you yell that? Fencer, I need fencers Adams and to strip 4. Where are you? Nobody knows what you're saying, and if they hear you at all, they just think you have a dick in your mouth. There are good things about these competitions, though. There are great things. I had a jihad on me this weekend. That was the thing that happened, yeah, because I was having sex with somebody named Jihad, and he was on top. So, he's also 19, which I feel kind of weird about, especially because in that culture, he's laughing because he knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's not bad actually. I was surprised. For 19, he's not bad. He is a man whore though. Like he is a slut. I'm telling you. Like don't just yeah. Anyway, so 19. So in that world, we anyone under 21 we refer to as 12 to remind ourselves not to drink with or have sex with these people. Oops. So in that those terms, I had sex with a 12-year-old. That really sounded bad. I'm never going to say that out loud ever again. But yeah, good thing. The woman that I room with, she's fantastic. She's this ex-Mormon lady who has spent the past few years doing a great job of making herself as undesirable as possible to her ex-husband in the Mormon church. She's come a long way. I come into my room, she is straddling a man, and she's blowing him. I said, hey, she said, That's a callback. So I come back. He likes stating the obvious. So I come back from this event, and naturally, like I need time to recover. I need a solid 24 hours of zero human contact. I call this PNAS because acronyms. This stands for post-NAC antisocial syndrome. So, yeah, I've suffered from this for like an entire month before. It's a real thing, guys. Yet I keep coming back. I keep coming back and doing this more. Which, if my recent experience with nipple torture didn't teach me anything, this should surely show that I'm a masochist. This feels like the right time to let you know everything I say on stage is true. Before I forget, Badger Mill. I promise to tell you what that means. Long story short, referees getting drunk. That's how it starts. Of course, that's how it starts. There's making fun of a British referee because Prince of Wales has like badger thing over his junk. That's like a real thing, I guess. And so they're talking about why would you have that? Oh, because it seasons things when your face is down there. But then badger hair gets stuck in your teeth. Oh no, you need something to grind it finer, a mill of sorts. So they're doing this because that looks funny. And someone's like, hey, that sort of looks like a referee hand signal. So someone else pulls out a 10 and he's like, this goes to the first guy who calls Badger Mill tomorrow at the competition. Next day arrives, high-level referee doing a high-level bout. Everybody's watching. Something kind of weird happens, so he goes, halt. Le Badger Mill, because the international language of fencing is French. No touch. Definition. 1 is fiasco. 2, like a pepper mill, but for badgers. 3, an Olympic fencing action similar to, but not quite a preparation. And 4, verb, to be physically abused for little or no pay. So guys, I got badger milled.